How the crucifixion and Passover correlate. In Exodus, God told Moses to tell Pharaoh to let my people go. But obviously Pharaoh said, no, I don't want my people to go. They're going to stay.
Okay.
First of all, after God sent 9 plagues down, he said no still. So God told Moses this last plague, which was the 10th plague, would kill your firstborns. The angel of death would go in everyone's houses and kill their firstborn. But if you do, he said, if you do these instructions, you will be safe. In Exodus 12, it says, find a lamb that is perfect and without blemish, which meant 6 days before the Passover happened, sheep's feet were anointed with oil. Keep that in mind. Then 2 days before the Passover, they anointed the lamb's head, which announced the lamb being blemish-free, basically sinless and like pure, and clean. Okay, we go to John 12. It says, 6 days before the Passover, Mary took a pint of pure oil and put it in Jesus' hair and feet, wiped his feet with his hair. That was 6 days before the Passover. Then in Matthew 26, it says, a woman came with a with perfume in abdary jar and then poured it on his head 2 days before the crucifixion. A woman came and poured oil on his head 2 days before the crucifixion. What happened 2 days before the Passover? The lamb's head was anointed. The 6th day of the Passover, sheep's feet were anointed. The 6 days before the Passover, Mary took a pint of oil and wiped it in his hair and feet. See the correlation? Then, in the Old Testament, it says, once the lamb is blemish-free, they take the lamb and kill it. And they take a bunch of hista lispo, dipped it in blood in a basin, and blood was on the door and the frame. So back to Exodus, in the time of Moses, they said, for the plague not to be in your house, you put the blood on the tops of your door and the sides of the door, the frame. Then it's what happened when Yeshua was about to die. He said he was thirsty. So they put wine and vinegar and soaked it in a sponge and put the same hyssop plant on the sponge and gave it to Yeshua and put it on his lips for him to be to drink, because he said he was thirsty. So that same plant they used to put on the blood of the lamb on the doors so the plague doesn't go in, they put that same plant for Yeshua, which meant he was the blood of the eternal lamb, the clean, eternal, healthy, pure lamb. He was the lamb. That's what they meant. That's also how the cross and Passover correlate with each other.